And we are live. As I'm checking, go to live chat. Yes, looks like audio is good. Oh man, what are we doing? What are we doing here in the U.S.? This better not be happening. This article I saw today. We're now preparing for a ground invasion. Oh Jesus Christ! And this obviously is talking about Iran.
President Trump has ordered the American military to target the island of Kharg. This small island in the Strait of Hormuz is crucial for Iranian oil to flow out of the country and through the strait. But are his threats just gearing up for something even worse? Let's take a look. So this is the statement from President Trump.
This video just came out. I think it came out like 20 minutes ago or something. It says 12, but I think it's closer to 20.
Just a few hours ago, stating that U.S. Central Command targeted the Kharg Island. He rants about how powerful the bombs are. They're big bombs. They're so big, guys. But he said he has chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island.
Yes.
However, he says if anyone else, should Iran do anything to interfere with the free and safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, I will immediately reconsider this decision.
Yeah, so this is all about the very unexpected and how the U.S. military. Well, it's more about the. It's obviously like the military branch going from Pete Hegseth down. How they did not anticipate that Iran will be willing to close down the Strait of Hormuz, which has their own, which would affect their own shipping. Like the U.S. military was like, oh, they would never stop their own oil going out of the Strait of Hormuz. They would never do that. Oh, Jesus.
And then he talks about how strong his military is again, and how bad.
The one thing I like is if the Republicans lose the House in the midterms, like there will be things that they're able to bring people in. It won't be a stupid Mike Johnson. We're not going to be held accountable for anything. There will be accountability. People will be brought in to testify about this stuff.
It is that Iran has a nuclear weapon. Now, take a look here. This here is the island of Kharg. And I want to just point out the overall contours is that this is a crucial oil terminal departure point for the Iranians. It's where basically all Iranian oil flows out of. And President Trump believes that by essentially holding this island hostage, he can use it to leverage the Iranians to capitulate. Now, you may be scratching your head because President Trump's own tweets are saying that actually Iran doesn't need to be coerced because they are already totally defeated. He said this about 4 hours after the Kharg Island tweets. He says, it's not a deal I would accept. Right. Then he again rolls out even more cope, where he actually says, again, just I'm going to say about 12 hours after threatening the island of Kharg, he says that other warships, unclear what those are, will keep the strait open and safe, and that Iran has had 100% of its military capability destroyed. But then in the next sentence says it's easy for them to send a drone or two, drop a mine, or deliver a close-range missile.
Wow. I think I just heard there was a sentence in there that was actually true, because when you listen to Trump's tweets, usually it's disinformation, but this sentence was absolutely true. It is easy for them to send a drone or two, drop a mine, or deliver a close range somewhere along. Absolutely true. And that's why you and your Pentagon, NSA, have fucked up.
No matter how badly defeated they are, which it doesn't really make sense if, again, they maintain significant military capabilities, but also had 100% of their military capabilities destroyed. He essentially says, well, all of our allies, whom we did not consult on this, will send ships to the area. He's basically appears to be pleading with allies.
Yes, this is exactly what he's doing. He's saying hopefully these other countries will send ships in the area that will stop, that will allow the oil to and natural gas, and it's other things. It's not just oil and natural gas like LNG. There's actually other things that go in and out of the strait that are very important, including things used for farming. But this is actually funny because this is totally different from what the official U.S. doctrine was that came out earlier in the year.
To send additional ships to the Strait of Hormuz in order to secure it, because the U.S. Navy is apparently unable to do so. But I thought that the threat to get them to reopen the Strait of Hormuz would be sufficient. It seems like literally President Trump is just saying stuff to see if anything sticks. It's a real, actually troubling sign of desperation. But that's not even the part that really worries me. First off, before we talk about all the stuff that worries me, I wanted to mention, of course, guys, that if you haven't become a member at combatnews.com members, we offer you every single day. And most important, allow advances on the government. Very few large sponsors want to touch me, but that's okay. You guys, right? Reportedly, last night, about 2,500 U.S.
I did hear this report. There was about 2,500 Marines, and not just Marines that are being reported here. There was also what was it? Some kind of water operations. Maybe like some members of the Navy, maybe special members of the Navy, sailors, something like that.
With an amphibious warship. Mission not yet clear, but it's definitely an increase in forces in the region. You're generally, now I want to point out that there are many missions that you may want a large Marine contingent for. These can include evacuation missions. These can include embassy security, other sort of key facility security missions. It could even be U.S. Marines who may be required to train on, say, Ukrainian interceptor drones. As you guys know, because we've fundraised for these drone teams, Ukrainian interceptor teams are generally teams of like 3 to 5 running these high-end interceptors, and they're manually operated, right? They're steered into the targets. So all of those things are possible. But what's sort of troubling is that doctrinally, a 2,500 person Marine unit is generally right on the cusp between a regiment and a brigade. Kind of annoying because the Army doesn't really have regiments. It has the Ranger Regiment, but
yeah, okay. That's so. What he's saying here, it doesn't matter. It's like what can you accomplish with 2,500 soldiers? You probably could set up. You could probably set up people in like some of the islands for monitoring, maybe for air defense.
There are specific ballparks, specific guidelines.
You're not going to send 2,500 Marines to Iran. There is no way you do that.
For how much you can expect from certain sized units. For example, military police units were often used to secure convoy routes, right? They were meant to secure routes as logistics and supplies move from place to place. But the doctrine would say, listen, if you have a military police company, you can reasonably expect them to secure.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Barry? Barry, not Barry the boss, not Barry Bart, Barry Allen.
Secure several hundred miles of MSR.
Yeah, the news just gets crazier and crazier. It seems like every day.
SRs. Now, obviously,
because someone that is in charge of this country, I'm not going to say who, does not like to lose or admit losing or want to publicly pull back from such a big thing.
Expand that a little bit if things are very quiet. If it's a quiet sector, you should shrink that a little bit if it's a very active sector. Again, in certain places in like Baghdad or Jabad, you would see that shrunk down considerably. But these numbers where you say, okay, you can expect an infantry company to hold X meters of secured frontline territory. You can expect an infantry company to be able to seize an urban area of X blocks or X size.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with this, but like, I don't know. It sounds like for another 12 minutes, he's going to talk about what you can or can't do with a force of 2,500 that is not So the fact that they're even announcing it beforehand, it's not going to be used for some like really clandestine operation. There's just no way you're going to announce that and then inject them into Iran for something. I would be totally surprised if that happened. It's probably going to be used for operations of securing like maybe small islands between within the Strait of Hormuz. Doing that, setting up some kind of air defense systems. That could be something that they do. Although I don't know how much air defense systems they have left. They're probably going to have to go for lower level air defense systems if they do choose to do that. They're not going to set up Patriot systems in small islands in the Strait of Hormuz because they would be like too easy to hit. It would probably be something like those powerful Germany has a lot of them. Those powerful they're almost like machine guns, but they're pretty effective. Pretty low cost like air defense systems. I can't imagine them actually. They would never set up a Patriot air defense system on one of those islands.
Military planners to know approximately what they can expect from different units. It also helps NATO planners. If you're a French general who has American troops under your command, you at least have a sense. Okay, I may not know what a company is, but I can reasonably say that I know that these guys can perform.
Well, let's fast forward a little bit.
Is to serve as a assault about 5 kilometers of coastline against a prepared defense. They can also seize a beachhead that extends 5 to 10 kilometers inland. This is interesting because when you look at Karg Island, what you see is that it is actually approximately 5 kilometers. It is approximately one side of the island. And again, the 5 kilometers
the reason is let me explain. The reason that this, and I'll show you a picture of the map. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Where's the big picture of Karg Island compared to everything? Ah, darn. So I think Karg Island is, you kind of see it here.
Oil infrastructure.
So there's a little island here. You can't see it. It's like a little dot. It's on like the southwest of Iran. And it's kind of close to Iraq, which is here. You have I think the Basra Strait here for Iraq. You have the Kuwait area here. So like there's this little island that the U.S. said they totally obliterated, even though there's really no military assets on the island. But the U.S. did not release that in their press statement.
But Iran will say, listen, guys, you guys just did target our oil.
Now, this island is actually important because this is where Iran loads up their oil. But it's also why the U.S. didn't think that Iran would shut down this strait here, the Strait of Hormuz. They didn't shut it down and would not mine it because they said, well, they would be hurting themselves because the U.S. and everyone in the world knows that the oil is loaded here on this small island. And yeah, so if they mined it, yeah, this part would be affected too. But Iran is facing an existential threat. Iran is facing a threat. It's like, we may no longer exist. So what is, cut off your arm? You wake up in the morning after going out a night of drinking. You wake up in the morning and you see this girl next to you and your arm's around her. And you're like, oh, if I could just chew off my arm, I could actually get out of here without her waking up. That's what this is to Iran. Iran. Yes. This little piece here is basically like 1 million barrels of oil a day. It's in the grand scheme of things, if you're facing an existential threat, yes, it's okay to give it up because you know that 20% of the world's oil, LNG, and other things that flow inward have a much greater impact. And people will be very, very upset at the U.S. for starting this war, including the U.S.'s own allies, which are here, 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 here. You can't see it here. There's a small country called Bahrain, kind of right here. This is the UAE. This is Oman. Much bigger things are getting are disrupted, and Iran just has to outlast the U.S. And Iran knows this is costing the U.S. $1 billion to $1.5 billion a day. It started at $1.5 billion a day for the first week, but that's because there was so much ordnance dropped on Iran. Now it's closer to $1 billion, but $1 billion. Imagine doing $1 billion for 100 days. That's $100 billion. That's more than most armies for an entire year. There may be only 2 or 3 armies in the world that pay more than $100 billion for an annual year. All right, so let's see where we are. Tan the Man and Pele. Hey, Pele.
Infrastructure. You might recall.
So yeah,
3 days
the
ago,
whole thing is
huge
just going.
Iranian oil
It's just going to shit right now because Iran doesn't care. The whole strategy was the U.S.'s intelligence was like, oh yeah, there's no way Iran will close the Strait of Hormuz. And you know what Iran is doing? They're closing down the Strait of Hormuz. The only thing they have not done yet was mine it. But like Qatar's fucked. Like Bahrain's fucked because their only source of income is getting crap out this way through the Strait of Hormuz. Saudi Arabia is they're affected too, but Saudi Arabia has a port on the other side of its country, so it still will be affected, but it won't be devastated. Like Qatar has no income now because they make all their money from that. And I've been to that nice airport many times. It's a great airport. It's probably my favorite airport. I love that teddy bear. I've never been to Bahrain, a real small country. But yeah, there's I'm sure their main export is energy as well. So this whole thing is just going. But here's the problem with Trump. He does not like losing, and he does not like losing. So let's escalate. Oh, let's threaten to send. Let's threaten to take over this thing here, which I don't know. Like the actual act of threatening to take it over without actually destroying the infrastructure. That's a smart move. Destroying the infrastructure, destroying the oil capacity, because they have a lot of oil tanks there that store the stuff that goes on the ships. Destroying those would be a big problem. What else we got?
Facilities were absolutely annihilated outside of Tehran. So the Iranians say, listen, you're threatening to do something to us that you have already done. So it doesn't really carry a lot of weight. And to say, oh, we're going to destroy your oil export terminals at Kharg Island, again, the Iranians are going to say, well, you already destroyed a bunch of our oil export capabilities. But also, the calculus is way different because the Iranians, by closing the Strait of Hormuz, have already accepted that they're going to be operating indefinitely without the ability to export oil. In contrast, saying, well, if you don't resume your ability to export oil, so we're going to eliminate your ability to conduct oil exports. The Iranians say
the one thing that's changed in this age of drones is without drones, and the U.S. They in the first 2 days they had air superiority over Iran, so they could pretty much fly where. And then eventually they went to air supremacy, which pretty much means that most of the Iranian air defense systems have been taken out. So air supremacy means you just rule the air there. But eventually you're going to run out of targets, right? So when you run out of targets, even with air supremacy, that old doctrine meant something a lot different than having drones now that you could just you could hide drones in a cave, program them in, take them out of the cave, and then launch them. You launch enough of them, air defense systems won't be able to attack. They won't be able to take enough of them out. So yeah, that part's a problem. So the military, if they have not already done it, and they should have learned from the Ukraine-Russia war how much of a game changer drones are. All different types of drones.
We know we did it ourselves because with the Strait of Hormuz closed, as long as it's closed, Kharg Island is valueless. It's only valueless if it reopens. And so clearly the fact that the Iranians went and did it when
I'm going to tell you another story that's pretty funny. There was a video that came out from the U.S. Department. I think it's either the Department of Defense or the Department of War, or the Pentagon, something like that. Last year, right around this time, and this is so last year would have been 4 years into the Ukraine-Russia war, and in the 4 years, this U.S. branch of government showed a video that was so ridiculous. I think the video was. It showed a drone, right? Showed a drone picking up, I don't know, it was like a bottle of water or something. It picked up a bottle of water and started moving the bottle of water. Or it picked up a grenade. I forget what video it was. It was so funny. And this is the time that there were so many things already, so many advances that Ukraine did with drones on the battlefield. Not only design, production, but actual battleground proof. That the U.S. had to take down their own video because it showed a bottle. It was either a bottle of water being picked up, saying, "Oh, we could deliver a bottle of water to a troop." It was something ridiculous like that.
Close the strait themselves indicates they are prepared to operate without it. So you're threatening some defunct oil terminals to get them to reopen the strait. It's not to say that you don't have some leverage, but you're threatening Iranians with a situation that the Iranian regime already had an understanding that they would be dealing with. In contrast, almost all.
Oh, is that right, Intermaster? So something actually came out about the technology that they're going to use. So. EMP devices. EMP devices. So that means two things to me. There are, and most people don't know this, but there are munitions that actually do launch. They do launch getting close to an enemy. Certain types of ordnance, which could be drones, it could be missiles, it absolutely would be rockets that do emit a small EMP blast. That technology does exist. They're not so. I don't think they're so cheap to produce for an EMP blast. It's funny, the whole concept of EMP blasts. You could even go back to remember the series 24, Jack Bauer, 24. There was EMP blasts even going back 20 years. So the concept has certainly been there.
Analyses and President Trump's own admission.
But I'm actually surprised that if that is the idea of deploy the Marines, that they would release that information that it's EMP blast. Now EMP, what EMP is meant to do is it fries the electronics on certain ordinances.
The price of oil is a red alert problem for.
Here's another thing.
You can see here.
Yes, low. $103 a barrel. Who is loving life right now with oil this high? Let me He's only showing 1 month, but basically $103. And this is what most of the world uses, the Brent. It's called the Brent crude price. You'll see different trademarks like the Brent crude price, WTI, which is West Texas, I think. It sells a little bit of a discount from Brent, and something like Urals, which is the other big one. Urals sells at a pretty substantial discount from Brent. 103 is a lot. Like literally, had to be like 50. Was it? No, maybe Urals was around 30. So Brent was probably around 60. Not too long ago. It was like 60. It's almost doubled right now. And it could get even worse because we still have a lot of tankers out there with oil. So it isn't so bad, but it could get a lot worse. Oh, hey, Sean the Prawn. Sorry, just saw you on. Yeah. The world, as the Grateful Dead would say, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. But we're actually not enjoying the ride right now. So this is kind of where we're headed.
$103 a barrel. It is escalating in ways that are totally out of control. And you can see here over the last 5 days, basically oil spiked at nearly $115 a barrel, slowly came back down as President Trump alluded to off ramps, alluded to the operation wrapping up. But now it's escalating again and again. You can see after 2 days ago, it crested 100 and basically remained above 100, dipping briefly and now climbing yet again. This is a huge problem for the Americans, and at most, minor.
I kind of disagree with him here, saying it's a huge problem for the Americans. Oh crap! I might be crashing soon. So let me give the link. Damn it! Let me give the link. I see I'm up to like 90%. So my RAM is going crazy. I don't know why. So let me get rid of as many windows as I can get rid of. Trying to find the problem child because I'm like really close to crashing. And what else can I close? Oh, I can close this. Yeah, I was actually looking before about how much this Michael Jordan, just to divert a little bit, how much this Michael Jordan, I have this card, how much this goes for, because there was a year where he kind of dabbled into baseball, but I think I'm going to crash very, very soon, but I will be back. There we go. All right. I might have just closed something that saved me. I went from 93, 94% RAM usage down to 53. So I might be okay. Hey, Pelly. What do you say? The warmonger Zelensky, who did not start the war, as much as the Russians would say, and Lavrov traveled to India and gave a speech there. And Lavrov actually said that Ukraine started the war against Russia. And it was funny. The response you hear is pretty funny from the audience. Hey, Mike Chef. Yeah, but the second response to that, Paley, is Zelensky is sending drone experts to the Middle East. So what is happening is this is a political decision where Zelensky wants to be aligned with the West. And the West would certainly not be Iran. Iran has contributed to the deaths of so many Ukrainians. So it is natural that Ukraine would be kind of against that, because all these drones that Iran sent to Russia to kill Ukrainians, and not just Ukrainian military, to kill Ukrainian civilians. That could make the country of Ukraine very much anti-Iran. So it does make sense that they're sending. When you say drone experts, it's the people who do the who are experienced with the Patriot systems to do the shooting down. They're very good at identifying the difference between like Shahed drones and ballistic and cruise missiles. Those are the experts that are being sent over. It's not offensive drones experts. It's the experts in the Patriot systems, because there are a very limited amount. If you didn't know, the U.S. can only produce officially about 700 of the Patriot PAC-2 and PAC-3 interceptors per year. I don't think it's 700 of each. I think it's 700 combined, which is it. When that's less than what you're producing in missiles, that's not a good sign. So you want to make sure that they're used for the missiles and not the cheap $50,000 drones. So I think that's what that's about, Paley.
Problem for the Iranians, simply because President Trump has to win elections, and the Iranians don't really give a shit how their people live. Obviously, they killed 35,000 of them. It's the democratic country's dilemma.
It looks like it looks like whatever was causing my spike in RAM usage that was going out of control. I did notice it in time before I crashed.
Countries have to answer.
I think we're good now for probably like an hour.
That authoritarian countries do not, and threatening the Iranians is not really going to be. This is not going to achieve that, and the Iranians are not stupid. One of the reasons I suspect they haven't actually targeted that many American facilities is they know that democracies fight better after taking casualties, because when the Ukrainians kill a Russian, for example, in a non-democracy, you're not killing anything special, right? You're not killing a member of the ruling class. And certainly America is a very unequal place. But when you kill an American soldier, you're killing a citizen, you're killing a voter, you're killing someone who represents the ultimate political unit within that country. An Iranian protester is not a political unit. He's at most an economic one. And that is a reason I think that many Iranians, the Iranian government, is simply avoiding inflicting large-scale casualties. They may physically not be able to, but there's been increasing reports that American air defenses are starting to fail. And the Iranians seem to be less inclined to take advantage of it, again, in part because they, I think, want both an off-ramp, but also to...
If he's arguing that Iran does not want to kill U.S. military because the U.S. will all of a sudden be like, oh, we care about our soldiers, so we're going to support the war. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I believe, with all due respect, I do like Paul, combat vet Paul. I believe he's totally wrong. You create a situation like Vietnam where you have so many casualties that the public has a backlash. Because the public in the U.S., the public knows that we're the one that started the war. Now, this is not attacking our home soil. We started the war. It's a totally different thing going on when we're the ones that start the war.
Avoid a larger American mobilization that might come from seeing hundreds or hundreds of casualties. I guess we already are seeing hundreds of casualties, but even more still. And so, again, none of this bodes well. And I want to point out that, again, President Trump is saying that the Iranians have no military capabilities, but literally objective truth says otherwise. Here is a statement from 13 hours ago that the UAE has had some of its oil facilities struck by drones. You can see outside of Dubai 17 hours ago, another drone attack targeting Dubai, a major tower there. You can see here in Doha. Qatari air defenses also mobilizing. You can see in Kuwait, again, just 2 hours ago, air defenses again mobilized to intercept missile and drone attacks, as well as 17 hours ago, another wave of drone attacks. Also, you had Iranian drone attacks targeting the U.S. Embassy compound in the Green Zone. Reportedly, this drone actually disabled the embassy's CRAM air defense system. This is a huge, massive problem. Taking out the CRAM is a big deal because that is one of the best and final layers of an anti-drone defense. The fact that the CRAM itself got taken out, is a sign that American air defenses are failing.
Yeah, the CRAM getting taken out by a drone. That sounds pretty big.
It's really bad news,
especially a $50,000 drone. I can understand if it was like a ballistic missile, but for a drone to take that out, that would not be good.
People, including the president himself, claim. You can see also the Israelis taking considerable attacks from these Iranian drones and missiles. And what I want to point out is that President Trump has repeatedly said that by covering these stories, that it is again, he's saying that
and Petley says, pause for a second. No doubt that Trump is 100% in Israel's pocket. I do believe that Israel and Netanyahu is 10 times slick and the politician that Trump could ever be. It seems like multiple people can manipulate Trump, and there is actually a guide to how to manipulate Trump. He's one of the most manipulatable people out there. Yeah, it goes from everything basic like just keep on flattering him, to a little bit more complex, offer him stuff, offer him like real estate investments, stuff like that. And maybe even more, because there might be more to this Epstein Files thing about who Epstein was sending the video footage for, that he took, which is in the Russian language is called kompromat. It's very possible Trump is a little bit compromised, and it's not just this term. It goes back to 2018 in the Helsinki. It was either the Helsinki or the Davos meeting where Trump had to say his own intelligence was faulty, which it wasn't. That Russia was involved in the 2016 elections to get him elected. He had to counter his own intelligence agency, which his own intelligence agency has thousands and thousands of people working for it, compiling the information. But yet he looked at it and said, nah, I like Putin. I believe Putin. Putin told me, he personally told me that he had nothing to do with it. Russia didn't have anything to do with it. So I'm going to believe that. Yes, this is Trump.
That recording negative stories is sick and demented. They're damaging the United States of America.
But okay, sorry to, I went on like a little diversion path there. But Trump is 100% in Israel. Well, I would say Trump is definitely doing what Israel wants the U.S. to do. And could there be an argument that the U.S. And Israel's goals are aligned? I think to a certain point they are, but I think to a certain point they're not. Like one of the U.S.'s goals is not necessarily regime change in Iran, where like Israel's goal is absolutely regime change in Iran. So the goals may not be 100% aligned, but there could be enough aligned where Israel told the U.S. we're going to attack anyway on this date. So are you with us? Are you not with us? And I guess they gave the U.S. enough time to bring in that second aircraft carrier group, which is good. It was good for me because it allowed me to escape Thailand, get back to Qatar, and get back before that second aircraft carrier group could have arrived.
And he also cites that because he won in 2024, that really people want America to be made great or whatever. Here you go. The fake news media hates to report how well the U.S. military has done against Iran, which is totally defeated and wants a deal. And
the fake news media hates to report how well the U.S. military has done against Iran. Okay. I don't think when he says fake news media, he's talking like left-wing media and like even left centrist media hates to report. So hates to report does not mean they're not reporting. But this is just BS, whatever he's saying here.
I point this out because we just saw objectively that Iran is not totally defeated. They obviously do not want to make a deal because Trump has to threaten them with reopening the Strait of Hormuz or else we'll bomb you more. That's not usually how you deal with someone who's interested in coming to a deal. But more importantly, this is not me being anti-American or me rooting for the Iranians. This is me rooting for the average American soldier, right? If Marines have to seize Karg Island because President Trump was unable to achieve his objectives with a bombing campaign, those President Trump's kids aren't going to pay the price. Elon Musk isn't going to pay the price, right? Larry Ellison and his kids, they're not going to pay the price. A bunch of families in middle America are going to get notifications, and they're going to get notifications that their son or daughter has been killed to achieve nothing because the president fucked it up, because he didn't listen to his Joint Chiefs of Staff, because he sent the American military on a stupid excursion.
The other thing that's interesting in this is the timing. Trump pretty much already knows he's losing the House in the midterm elections. So anything he wants to do policy-wise, executive, I would say policy-wise, he has to do now before November. Because, like, I'll say, shit's going to hit the fan in November.
His term, not mine. A stupid excursion.
Once the Democrats, and there is a very, very high probability, certainly, with all the negative things that he's done, underwater, almost from the time he announced all these tariffs on countries, he's been underwater. It's very, and with a very slim House majority that Republicans have, not only are they going to lose, they're going to get crushed. They're going to lose by 20 seats. And that's going to set up a new Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House will be a Democrat, most likely Hakeem Jeffries. And they're going to create all these investigative things. And Trump's power is going to be very much limited at that time.
No winnable military objectives that he did without permission from Congress, that he did impulsively without proper planning, and all of those things have resulted in those soldiers' deaths, just as his poor planning has directly resulted in the deaths of at least 7 Americans in combat, plus an additional 6 crew members tragically killed conducting these operations. All that blood is on the president's hands. And again, American service.
That's a funny thing. The president doesn't see it that way. He doesn't see the deaths of American soldiers as being on his hands. He's actually said in the past that people that die in combat are losers and suckers, which is, how could you actually win a presidency saying those things? But he does.
Members deserve to know that they are fighting for fighting for the vital interests of the American people, that they are defending the United States against real meaningful threats, and that means getting permission from Congress.
Hey, Paley, what are you saying? Only me here traveling back to You're going to Pattaya in July? Yeah, I don't know who's going to be there in July. There's probably an outside chance that Mokmok's the only one I know that might be there in July. but we're all planning to go there next February for Steph's 1-year anniversary. But I'm probably going to go in January. But I'll stay there for like 3 to 4 weeks, so I'll be there in February for Steph's 1-year anniversary memoriam.
And from the American people to launch these kind of wars. And the president has failed to do all of that, and in the process betrayed the fighting men and women who do this every single day. And obviously,
so I do like Paul here. Like this specific video, I disagreed with him more than I typically disagree with him. But generally, what he says is pretty common sense. There were some things he said that I don't disagree. I totally disagree with, which is the fact that Iran. The big one was Iran does not want to kill American soldiers because it would rally up the base of Americans. I totally don't think that's true. I think if you take out 500, 1,000 American soldiers in this current conflict, that would not rally Americans to go all in. Oh no, I think it would be more like a Vietnam. Why are we here? What are we doing?
Can't sit there and go to bat for themselves. They are in uniform, but veterans like me have to do it on their behalf. Someone has to.
Okay, yeah, that was decent. I do have the thing posted. Maybe oh, did I not pin it? Yeah, I did not pin it. I posted it. I didn't pin it though. I'll pin it. I saw this video, which is totally a separate topic. I don't know what it's going to say, but it's like if you get pulled over and the cops ask any weapons, it says say this.
Imagine this. You are driving home after dinner with your family, and all of a sudden you see the red and blue police lights flashing behind you.
This
You are
applies
getting
more to
pulled
Americans.
over. In your mind, you're thinking, well, maybe I was going a little fast, but I don't think I've done anything wrong. You pull over. And because you're a legal gun owner, you're naturally polite, and you likely think transparency is your best friend. The officer walks up to you and says, do you have any weapons in the car? Here's the trap. If you answer the way most people do, you just handed them the perfect excuse to do 3 things. Control you, separate you from your car, and start fishing for a reason to search. And in a minute, I'm going to give you the exact sentence to say that protects you without acting sketchy. And we're also going to break down the firearm possession rules across the country because disclosure rules vary by.
This does not apply to me. I am not a gun owner. I will probably never be a gun owner.
State you're in. Before we talk guns, let's talk reality. Traffic stops have obligations.
And like, I'm not so much anti-gun, but guns they're actually a real huge problem here. Despite what the NRA will tell you, the guns are just a huge problem. Every day there's a shooting in Philadelphia.
In almost every single state, you are expected to provide your driver's license and usually registration and proof of insurance if requested. Please leave the comments about the right to travel alone. Well, Mark, I'm not engaged in a business, so I don't have to actually provide my life. Stop. Just stop. That's nonsense. If you think that, please educate yourself on the right to travel. It's nothing to do with that. It's the right to go to different states, be treated like a welcome person there. It's about to go internationally travel. It's not being able to drive without a driver's license. So get that out of your head. The right to travel crowd usually creates more problems than they think they solve, and they turn a simple traffic stop into an arrest for refusal to identify or obstruction of justice. So get rid of that mindset. The mindset you want to have at a traffic stop is comply physically, don't volunteer illegally. Because the roadside is not where you win the argument. It's where you avoid the extra charges. So the quick safety routine is pull over safely. Turn on the interior dome light if it's nighttime. Keep your hands on the wheel where the officer can see them. And narrate your movements if the officer asks you to give things.
Okay. I would agree with this. I would actually add one thing that is not here. So obviously pull over safely. Like, why would you not pull over safely? Turn on interior lights at night. Yeah, that makes sense. So from the police officer's perspective, they need to see where your hands are, because if they see your hands are on the steering wheel, and it's best on the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock position. That's perfect for them because the number of people that have been born with 3 hands is actually very, very few. You could probably count them on one hand. So you want to have your hands on the wheel, and it's better. It's better when before they even move up, get out of their car, get your insurance card. If you have in the glove box, get your insurance card out, get your driver's license out, have them in one of your hands, and still have your hands on the wheel. Perfect. That will put the cop more at ease, and the cop will actually know that you know that. So I would say, in addition to these 4 things, that 5th thing I just said is a good thing. Narrate Movis. I am reaching for the glove box. Okay. Well, that thing, you should do this before the cop even approaches your car. There is no reason. You usually have 5 minutes before you're pulled over to actually interact with the cop. So you want to get your registration, get your car insurance. Sometimes they'll ask for that. Put them in one of your hands. Have your hands on the wheels. That makes the situation a lot less likely to escalate.
Chaz, I'm reaching for the glove box for my registration. Now, here comes the question that changes everything. When the officer asks, any weapons? Your answer depends on where you are in the United States of America. To make this as simple as possible, we're going to break it down to 3 buckets. The first bucket is a duty to inform. The best example for this is Texas. If you are pulled over.
So this is interesting for U.S. people traveling. It's not even what state you're a part of. It's about the state you get pulled over in. So he said there's 3 buckets, and you should know this. If you travel with a weapon, you should know this.
Over, you have a duty to inform the officer you have a firearm on your possession as part of getting a permit. There might be some variations of that, but generally Texas is a duty to inform state. The second bucket is inform if asked. Some states don't require you to volunteer it, but if they ask directly, you may have a duty to answer, depending on the state and even your permit status. These are states like New York and Florida. And then bucket C is there's no duty to disclose. This is where people have the most options, but also where people talk themselves into a search. Indiana is an example of a no duty to disclose state. What this means for people watching this video is the law might not require you to announce you have a firearm, but the moment an officer learns a gun's involved, the stop changes. Which brings us to the most important question. Why does officer knows you have a gun often lead into officer tries to search the car? The reason is simple. It's pure human psychology plus basic police training. When you tell the officer, oh, I have a gun, 3 things happen instantly. Number 1, threat perception spikes. Even if you're lawful and you're following the law, the officer's brain goes, unknown person plus gun equals potential danger. That increases adrenaline, caution, and most importantly, the officer's desire for control. And what does control look like? Well, control looks like step out of the vehicle. Where is the gun located? Keep your hands where I can see them. I am going to secure that firearm for now. Number 2, their legal toolbox gets bigger. Once officer safety is on the table, officers know they can order you out of the car on a lawful traffic stop, pat you down if they believe you may be armed and dangerous, and in some situations do a limited weapon sweep of areas you could lunge towards. So what do they need to justify the next steps? They need you to give them facts they can describe later. He was nervous. He wouldn't answer questions. He made movements. His story was inconsistent. This was a high crime area, so I had reason to be on alert. I suspected impairment. Now, some of these are contradictory, and it's kind of crazy. He was nervous. He was abnormally calm. Some of these are silly, and some of them are inconsistent, but the law is an officer can take innocent statements in combination with each other, plus his training experience, and you can make assumptions on those. So anything you tell the officer can be used against you. And then sometimes in the comments of these videos, people try to make funny comments. I tell them, your mom's house. Listen, I love a good joke. I would argue that at the side of the road with an officer is not the time to make that. That's just me. Mileage might vary. People are always telling me, I got out of a ticket because I made them laugh. Listen, please, I would advise against making people laugh at the side of the road, especially police officers, whatever. Keep that in mind. And the questions officers ask you, your responses, they use those responses to number 3, build a story that supports searching your vehicle. Now, if the officers don't have probable cause to search your vehicle, there are 2 easy ways for them to get to search your vehicle. Number 1, you consent. Number 2, the officers create enough suspicion to extend the stop and escalate. And the number 1 way officers get consent is with social pressure. You don't mind if I take a look, right? If you've got nothing to hide, you don't mind me searching your car, right? Help me understand why you're so.
I missed a bunch from the chat. You're just copying Pattaya Owl Monster. I don't know what that means. My next 3 stops are Bermuda, Peru, Panama, Japan. We'll go back to Thailand in December. Oh, December 20th. Yeah, that's a ways away. It looks like you're gonna miss the great get together in February 2027. And Sean the Prime replies, I'm in the Greek islands in June, maybe Germany, England in July, Spain in September, Thailand, Vietnam, and January and February. And Pele says, I really appreciated meeting Dictator Tai Z and Pattaya. I had a great time during the evening we spent together. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope we get to do it again, Pele. Like, I would say, yeah, I remember I had like four really good days there. And most of the days were good, but like 4 were really good. And 2 of them, two of the 4 really good days were with you. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I'm nervous. Is there anything in this car that shouldn't be there? When officers ask those questions, you feel like you have to prove that you're a good guy. But listen, you don't talk your way out of a search. You talk your way into one. So here's the easiest and cleanest way to handle it, depending on your state bucket. If the officers know or suspect that you've got a weapon, these questions are rarely small talk. They're usually about creating permission or suspicion. So once you've been pulled over and you've given your license and you've complied with your state's duty to inform law, and the officer continues asking questions, let's deal with that.
All right.
So first question.
No one wants to come on?
Where are you coming from?
Maybe no one wants to come on. I'm gonna end this and then we'll do it like in 2 hours. I'll create another stream in like 2 hours. And see if we can get people in like 2 hours. But my wife's just about home, so I'm probably gonna end it. There was no bites earlier, but I think I've been on for 6. I've been on for like has to be an damn it, Sean. Why every time I say I'm gonna go and I'll come back in 2 hours, then I get people on.
In 2 hours, sorry. I'm not sorry about that. Jesus. I didn't realize you've been asking for people to join. I thought you had time tonight. I thought you had.
Well, I kind of do. But with no one coming on, I'm like, maybe my wife's about to get home from the gym, so I'm like, maybe I'll just end it for 2 hours and then come back on
and hang around with my sweaty wife.
Sawadee Cop wife.
Sawadee Ka. Kapkun Ka. What do ladyboys say? Kapkun Ka.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I don't know for sure, but I think the way they answer it is not physical. It's who they want to be, not who they physically are. So they will say ka, not cop.
Ka.
I believe that's the way.
Ka.
But I don't think they'll lie to you. Well, I shouldn't say that. My experience in asking is
maybe you should lie. Maybe sometimes there's a good reason to lie. Maybe, you know. What was your question?
My question?
Yeah, you said Sean. Do you remember when? That's what you said. You said, Sean, do you remember when?
Oh, damn. Back
when COVID was happening. Do you remember that?
tonight?
Tonight, yeah, when COVID was happening tonight.
I don't remember that.
No, the back in the good old days. Yeah.
Shaw. I don't remember. But I don't know.
No, did you see that video on the line chat?
No.
All right. It just showed a video of Steph when he was in I think it was Blackpool when he went to the Weatherspoons and they all ordered him drinks.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. I remember from back when Steph was talking about it. So
yeah.
it is going back a couple of years. Yeah. Well, even more than a couple of years ago. It must have been. Damn, it must have been like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I put a bit of a dickhead of a comment in the comments.
Yeah, I didn't say.
It was a wank. Yeah, I was wanking on. You know, like need to say sorry, monster. Sorry, monster.
Ooh, what's this?
That was me being a dick. Malacca. Yeah, Malacca's better. Malacca. Isn't Malacca a great word? It's the best word ever.
I wonder if
Malacca.
people passing through the Strait of Malacca say Malacca all the time.
The Straits of Malacca, yeah. For the Malaccas. Malacca. Truth Warriors in the chat. Malacca. Cebuki. No Cebuki for Malaccas. Sorry. Yeah.
Ding, ding. Hello, welcome. Oh, wait, there's no one. That was me.
Isn't there? Oh, that was exciting. I got excited.
Yeah, it was just it was the video I just put in the background.
Must have been a Malacca. Yeah, so what time is it where you are? Is it 5:15?
It is. It looks like it is 6:15 because
6:15. That's great.
we just experienced daylight savings.
Wow.
There's nothing like a good daylight savings time change than putting on Taliban music.
Yeah. This is what they're playing in Iran right now, guys. This is the music they're playing in Iran.
Yeah,
Can
well,
you
they
play
are.
it again, please, Tazi.
So in Iran, they are having a very interesting kind of debate. How much they are trying to blame the West for what's going on, because the protests that we saw like a couple months ago had nothing to do with the West. It was about the Iranian regime clamping down on freedoms, liberties, and it was enough where they got protests, and unfortunately it looks like 30,000 civilians were just mass murdered by the IRGC. It was a terrible event.
Yeah. There's a debate about that. But
Malacca.
yeah. Malacca.
Hello, welcome.
I love the
Tazi.
Taliban music. addition to that. That was great.
Mooney.
You're welcome.
So,
No
Sean,
Mooney. No Mooney. Mooney.
or
No
no
Mooney.
Sabuki.
No Sibuki. No. He said something else the other day for Dick. I think he
Oh,
said
no. I missed it. Was it
John
another
Boy.
slang?
John Boy, the Opal King. The
Was it
Opal
another
King.
was it another slang term I need to learn?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh,
Everything
damn.
sounds funny off Greeks. Everything sounds funny.
Especially him. Malacca.
Malacca.
In blue, Malacca.
Oh, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go AFK for about three or 4 minutes. So give me that. You guys can talk, and I'll be back.
We
in like
can
3.
talk. Okay, what are you going to do? Number ones or twos?
No, it has nothing to do with the bathroom.
Okay, all right.
He's gonna get something to eat.
No, but
Oh.
something else just popped up that I just have to deal with. 3 to 4
Okay.
minutes. I'll be right back.
All right. It's not long
Family
enough.
issues.
It's not Sabuki. I can tell you that much.
No, and it's definitely not Mooney.
Mooney or Sabuki.
Or
Sabuki, no
Sabuki. Maybe it's because he's a Malacca in
No,
disguise.
no. He's not a Malacca. He's not Malacca.
Well, then he needs to get some Sabuki or some Mooney then.
No, he's just a Malacca who doesn't get Sabuki, so he's not a Malacca.
That's true.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
so how was your weekend? How's your weekend been?
It's been chill, man. I've been having something. Okay, all the trees here. I guess it's spring as far as the trees because they're starting to bud. What was that?
Sorry, it was just I turned on my other phone.
Oh, okay.
You could hear yourself.
I thought it was me, and I'm like, I even closed the YouTube tab on this tablet.
No. I've got an old phone that I have connected to Wi-Fi. Yeah, which I read the chat on, so I can see the chat. I can see Pele's in the chat. I can see Internet Monsters in the chat.
Malacca.
Yeah, and then Internet Monster said something. He said, "My next 3 trips are Bermuda, Peru, Panama, Japan. We'll go back to Thailand in 2027." Now, I should have said, that sounds really cool. But instead, what did Dickhead say? I said, I'm in Greek islands June, maybe Germany, England in July, Spain, September, Thailand, Vietnam, Oz, January, February. What a Malacca am I? I'm a fucking Malacca.
Thank you, Sean. It's true. I do have issues I'm taking care of.
I'm wanking on, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you reading the chat now as well?
Yeah, I had to get my laptop. I put it on my my knees.
I said Truth Warrior has to get surgery, so she's not free for a fair while.
Yeah. Thank you. I was saying thank you for that.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what because I saw it. I was like, I have to thank Sean. That was very nice. It's true though.
Yeah.
It's supposed to snow here on Monday, man. I brought my laptop home in case I want to just work from home. If it gets freaking stupid, I'm gonna say, I got my laptop here. It's snowing outside or it's sleeting. Can I work from home today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wind that I wonder if Ty-Z got it or just us and then it went northeast. It blew part of the okay. I don't own this place, so there was a part of the fence that came down, like a panel of it. And the guy, the property management company sent the maintenance guy. He fixed it. And that was about a week and a half ago, maybe. Well, yesterday we had these high winds with this whatever it was. It didn't rain. It was just windy. Well, it blew that one part of the fence down. So it's sort of crooked right now. So he has to go back and fix the same part that he just fixed. Because the wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a chill weekend. I've been doing a little,
I beg your pardon?
a little, a little. That, yeah, yeah, that.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, and I went to Starbucks. I was gonna go live, and I saw Z was live, so I just moved it to like next Friday.
Yeah.
Because I won't step on him. If I see he's live, I don't. That's kind of rude, People, there's certain people I won't do that. Him and Roy too, because Roy's gonna be live tonight.
Roy,
I'm
and
like,
who's the other one? LC, is it? Or
oh, I don't. LC goes live. I don't know how often. I mean, I'm not sub there. I think I
yeah.
peeked in once, but man, he doesn't. Okay, you were there when it was like during the crazy days when he had it out with Tricky Bricky and Orcadelia and shit. Do you remember that?
LC did.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Then he got so pissed off. Well, he didn't like Orky because I guess, I don't know. She didn't do anything wrong, but whatever. It might because she wasn't with Tricky. But he picks on some people, I noticed. At least he did then. I don't know. He probably still does. And so she Tricky Bricky was in there too, and then I guess she started talking to him during this time, and then well they started really getting interested, and then eventually they got together. Well, LC and Tricky Bricky had a freaking competition. Who's going to get more subs? And it was constant, man. It went on
Really?
for oh
Wow.
yeah, oh yeah. Tricky Bricky, I think, is just under 30K, and LC has over 100,000. I wonder how many of those he bought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just no, you don't blow up like less than a year like that. He has 135K, I think.
LC has, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When I
That's
peeked in, I saw that. I was like, damn. And I bet it had to do with Tricky. Because he was like, I'm gonna have more than him. I don't
I'm just turning the tap on, so I'm gonna mute.
oh, he's got the tap on. What's the topic of the night?
Sorry,
Well,
the noise of the tap was irritating. It's not
that's
like
okay.
I'm having my second last beer of the night.
Oh, you were rinsing the can out?
I've got 2 more beers, and I'm having the second last one. And
Mm.
it's a good idea that I don't have more. I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
How many have you had so far?
4.
Okay, so you just do 6 and stop. That's your
6.
max.
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of beer are you drinking?
Dutch beer.
Dutch beer. Carlsberg, or is that Dutch? I don't know if that's Dutch.
It's called 86.
86.
8.6. 8.6.
Oh, I remember you were talking to John JQ about it. Remember
Yeah.
when he was up? I remember you guys were talking about that. So whatever night that was, you were drinking it then too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
he came in my live the other 3 nights ago. But I don't think you were here. Or yeah, you were. But he didn't come up on the panel or anything.
I joined the panel.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys seem to get along pretty good because of that Aussie.
Really
Yeah,
good. He's a good guy. Yeah.
he is.
But
That's that
like you said that he talks, naughty talk a bit.
he can. He's not like Mac at least. I mean, he does get really pissed sometimes. I mean, not all the time, but one time, and I got freaking pissed at him because he got so pissed and got really stupid. And I was like, oh fuck, But normally, yeah, I guess when some people get really, really pissed,
Yeah, no, he
they
put me onto a good song. He put me on, I love that in anyone. He put me onto a good song, and I listened to it, and I went, yeah, I know that song. And then I listened to it more, and I went, yeah, what a great song that is,
what was the band?
It's a band called Goanna.
Galena?
Goanna.
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 Goanna. Is that
Goanna. Go
Set up-
Anna, go, 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 go Anna, go Anna. Yeah, it's a goanna.
They're not. What part of Australia are they from?
Actually, I don't know. Maybe Adelaide. I'm going to guess Adelaide. I'll guess
Mm.
Adelaide. And someone can. This is the beauty of the new world that we live in. Someone in the chat can. Someone in the chat can Google, is it goanna? And the song is Razor's Edge. The song is Razor's Edge. Living on the razor's edge. But I can't sing the song. Now we've got some weirdos in the chat. We've got Weirdo555.
Oh, Weirdo was in Steve Balboni's chat, I think. Yeah, that's where I seen him last.
So
But
we've got some instant timeouts. We've got some. What's a Balik Bayon box? Balboni Balik Bayon box.
I
What
have
is
no
the
clue. Oh, they need to explain that because I don't know either. I'm looking up goanna right now. I don't know how to spell, but we're gonna flow with that.
Yeah. Weirdo wants to know if this is is
Oh, there it is.
elbow friendly. Is it elbow friendly? They want to know if it's elbow friendly. It's more than elbow. It's the whole body friendly. It's friendly to everything.
I just found out where they're from. Goanna, Australian rock band, formed in 1977 in Geelong, Victoria, Australia, is where they're from. You know where that is?
So say that again.
I said goanna are an Australian rock band which formed in 1977
Right.
in Geelong, Victoria, Australia.
I tell you what, I spent some time in Geelong when I was an infant, and I remember it well till I was like 10 years old.
Really?
Geelong, you go down to the well, you had beaches right nearby, like Torquay, and
Welcome back, Z.
then you have Melbourne on the other side. You had good beaches nearby.
All right, I have to. I hate to say this, but I have to end this due to unforeseen circumstances happening. But the good news is, I think there's a chance. There's more than a 50-50 chance I could get something started in like an hour or two. But
yeah, another one.
Yeah, I do have to kind of take care of some stuff.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have a late one. It's 10:30 p.m. I reckon I'll be here till midnight.
Okay, so what I'll do, much like what you do, is I'm going to come on 15 minutes before you go to sleep and force you to come on.
No, that'd be beautiful. Yeah, that'd be great. Is that intellectual revenge?
Well, if I thought that far ahead, but yeah, I got
it's you know what it is?
Something that
sabotage. Yeah,
I have to take care of.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
I can move mine back and I'll just go live.
Yes, absolutely.
You going live now?
I will I'll come on yours, but I can't really do it. I can't really post or come on until at least an hour or two.
Well, we'll see if it lasts that. I don't know.
Okay.
May or may not.
You must start now.
That.
I'm just telling you, may or may not be that long. I may just do like an hour and say, okay, we're done. Okay. Whenever Sean finishes his last beer, then that's when it's over. Right, Sean? And he's on his second to last beer. So, that's about how long mine's going to be.
Make that last, Sean. Make it last.
Well, we don't know. It's up to Sean. If his beer is gone, my stream is ending.
Add 1 liter of spring water.
I'm gonna drink as slowly as possible for the
next. I'm just saying.
I know how to water down beer. Believe me.
All right, that's good. Good. We have a plan. I'm gonna head off and take care of some of the stuff, which may not be named later, but I do have to take care of some stuff.
That's called he's married. He just got a request from the family. He's got a honeydew list last minute.
So I would say you're right for most of it. The honeydew list thing is,
Which is like when they create, well, I said last minute, like all of a sudden while you're up here, one was being
Yeah,
created.
I don't necessarily think it's a honeydew list, but yeah, there's some stuff I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So trolls and everyone else, we're going to treat these.
Oh,
Whoa!
no trolls. No
I hate
trolls. You'll
trolls.
get
No trolls.
kaboomed.
Trolls, fuck off.
Trolls get, if you act like
Yeah.
a malacca, you're getting kaboomed on
You
my
act
channel.
like a malacca. If you come on looking for Sabuki, you're going to get
Kaboomed like Mac.
kaboomed. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for hosting. And good to see you again, Pele. Pele certainly. I've only talked to him like twice since we met up.
Well, he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
things to do. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm
Hello,
gonna go live
everybody.
for
There's
Sean and
yeah.
his 2 beers, and then I'm gonna
Hello
end
was saying
mine.
he could make February the 12th, next year.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
there
the plan. Feb 12th.
February 12th next year.
to Thailand.
The Thailand live stream.
All
Not
them
live
in
stream.
honor
No,
of
not-
Steph. In
No,
honor
not
of
live
Steph.
stream. Not live stream.
No, no.
Meet up.
Meet up
No.
in honor of Steph because that's the 1-year anniversary, guys. If they didn't
Yeah.
know in the chat.
Yeah.
Just so they know, then they know the reason. It might inspire them to definitely make it.
That decision.
And I'm gonna step down. You're ending it, and I gotta set this stuff up.
Okay. Go for it. Go set it up. And thank you, everyone. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tazi. Okay, see you in the truth.
Yep. See you on the other side.